Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today I'm very excited to be joined by Mary Saadat, founder of Start Dut Associates, a consulting firm focused on helping entrepreneurs and leadership teams build stronger strategies, improve operations, and scale their businesses more effectively. Through her work, Mary helps organizations navigate the complex challenges that come with growth, from aligning leadership teams to building systems that allow businesses to scale sustainably. Today, we're going to explore Mary's journey into consulting, the lessons she's learned working with founders and leadership teams, and how she's thinking about growing Start Dut Associates moving forwards. Mary, welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Olivia, thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be with you today.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you, and I'm very much excited to dive in and learn a little bit more about your journey. Mary, with all of my guests, I do like to start at the beginning. So if you don't mind briefly taking me back to what it was you was doing before you started up Start Dut Associates, and then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Wow, the journey goes back, which I will age myself, but hey, it is what it is. The journey started postgraduate degree. And I started in the marketing arena and then moved into operations. Anyway, bottom line, 30 years of startups, turnarounds, and profitability growth with privately held and publicly traded companies, which I loved. However, in 2016, since the company is going to be 10 years old, actually, March 31st, in 2016, I just decided I would like to really utilize my experience and to include breaking all glass ceilings, because I started in 1985, and add value to founder companies. I don't specialize specifically with women, but I have a special place in my heart for women founders, because there are some very unique challenges as women that unfortunately, even in 2026, we face, to include women entrepreneurs and founders. That's how it all grew and evolved. And I wanted to base the company, Olivia, on core values. It was something that I always wanted to do that I really didn't have an opportunity to do in my C-suite and executive level positions when I was working for other companies. And my belief, and it is proven correct, is that you can have core values and still be profitable. But my core values that I established the company on were integrity, accountability, and value as defined by ensuring alignment before any engagement, turning strategy into execution, and delivering measurable improvements in profitability and operations.
Amazing. I love that. And so very big experience and broad experience as well within obviously business and leadership, and then coming from corporate yourself. And did you always have a small ambition to be an entrepreneur and kind of start up your own company? Or was that just something that actually developed as obviously you went through your journey in life?
That's a really good question. I think I've been an independent soul, and everywhere that I've been, it seems like I was always I really excelled in turnarounds, because you got to make it happen independently. Right. But did I really think that I would ever create Saadat Associates? Probably not. It was an evolution. The real story is that I did a huge project with a position. I had a position with a publicly traded company, and being the girl that never looked for work ever, I bombed 3 interviews. Okay, after that project was done. And I actually went and saw an advisor at that time, and I said, what the heck is wrong with me? For 30 years, I've been doing so great, and recruiters have been, and I just don't want to do this anymore, is what came out of it. And the evolution of Saadat Associates was as a result of that. It wasn't easy, Olivia. So, not having a paycheck was not easy.
Yeah, I can imagine. And it is that big leap of faith when you are going off and starting your own firm or your own journey.
Yes.
But it's amazing, obviously, now with 10 years into that. So it's something paid off. And I think a journey worth taking, if I'm okay to say so from the outside.
I think founders and entrepreneurs are visionaries, and these are the lovely people I get to work with. It is that we all have that common denominator of vision and getting outside the box. And then go outside the box is like we navigate as the business grows and evolves. And I think even with my background, the same thing was the case. I made a ton of mistakes. I love that I made a ton of mistakes because that I can add more value actually to the people that I work with. My joke is there isn't a single thing that they present to me that I haven't done or experienced or had to fix. So I think that vision is unique. And it's the American way, right? As an American, I can tell you that we are into constantly pushing ourselves, which I love about US, and which is I'm a naturalized citizen, Olivia, not a born in the United States citizen. And it's something that I love. And alignment of strategy, execution, and accountability is something I had to do. To take that vision and making it a reality is something I had to do, and something that my beautiful founder clients have to do as well.
Yeah, I could not agree more. And let's dive into that a little bit more then, just so the listeners can have some context moving forward. So when it does come to Start Associates, who would you say is your ideal client, Mary? Who is it that you very much love to work with the most?
Yeah,
and from there, how is it you help them, and how do you support them along their own journey?
When I was working in the corporate world, I was very blessed to work with a lot of advisors and consultants because we would call on them to help us in different arenas. And as much as I loved their work, I saw that many times it was filled with reports and there was no execution. Okay, because we were supposed to do the execution and we were not, the consultants were not hands-on with us, which is not what we contracted for. So my model is very hands-on execution oriented with the client. So rather than writing a big business plan, which will probably sit on a shelf, I never do that ever, is we work on small, deliverable, strategic results focused on revenue growth, which translates into their profitability. So we're numbers driven. I always work from back to front. So if it's a lifestyle business, sometimes my clients come to us and they're like, I want to sell and I want to get acquired. So if that's really the case, then yes, I have numerous examples of it's on my website and all over of what we've done, what I've done with those situations. Sometimes I have a client that says they want to sell, but when we get into what it's going to take to actually make the EBITDA the way it's supposed to be, then they're like, maybe I'm not going to sell. Maybe I just want to expand. So it's all sorts of different types of clientele, all in the service arena. Obviously, because of my background in healthcare, I get a lot of healthcare clients, but it's all service based. I don't do manufacturing and widgets, as we call it.
Nice. Very service-based, awesome stuff. And is there like a size of company or even like a particular industry you like to work with within that? I know you mentioned in the medical sector because of your background, but is there one that you very much aids more from?
The size of company, Olivia, is predominantly 0 to 80 mil in terms of revenue. Yes.
Beautiful.
And the reason why I say 0, because I do work with startups, and startups have specific needs to get themselves to a level where they become profitable. So that's pretty much the range. Is service-based. I do have the majority of my clients seem to be women founders, which I love and adore. And it's pretty much focused on operations, marketing, sales, finance, aligning all of that, full P&L, okay? And then obviously sometimes I work, because of my background, I work with multicultural and multilingual types of companies.
Yeah, beautiful. So very much lean into your expertise, as you say, your authenticity as well, what makes you so unique in that space. And you can use that to really help those industries as well, scale from there. And you said at the start, obviously, it's quite a hands-on approach. So do you very much get in the trenches with your clients and you're immersing yourself in the business? What is your style or your approach to the coaching aspect?
So example, next week, actually, we have an hour with a client and her right-hand person. Okay. And there's some issues with the right-hand person, not so much in terms of the actual selection of the person, but we identified that maybe some training is needed in terms of what does it really mean to be the head of operations. Okay, what does it really
Yeah.
mean? How can we assist? How can we grow this person? How can we evolve together as she evolves? And yeah, pretty hands-on because it came out in our Q1. We were almost the end of Q1 that I still don't feel like my founder client is comfortable enough to delegate more so we can grow a company more. And
Yeah.
so she's really too much in the trenches. And so we hired this person, we gave this person the title. However, it's imperative that we also evolve this person and grow
Yeah.
this person into what's needed so that then we can increase revenue.
Yeah, and that's that leadership skills that are coming into play, as you mentioned before. A lot of the time, especially founders, they're very good at their skill. So as you say, like delegating jobs that can help them grow, alleviate them from that role, and even the person you're putting in that role, make sure they can actually lead a team because that's a very different skill to being good at, say, marketing or operations, whatever you've brought in to solve. It's that added level of authority when you take that next step as well. So yeah, very much aided. One thing I'm very curious to find out though, Mary, is how you go about acquiring your customers. So naturally, it's quite a busy world at the moment. So like in terms of marketing yourself, getting your name out there, like what channels and methods are you really finding most effective at the moment? And just finding
So
the right
to
people.
be perfectly, I wish I had a really sexy answer for that one, but honestly, it's my network. When I first started Olivia, I just put it out there into my network, and I was fortunate enough to land clients and do a good job. And a lot of times I fired myself because they really didn't need me and then just moved on. So it's mostly referrals, professional networks, and trusted relationships. People that know me. I do have the website. It took me about 3 years to put that together. I have only had a LinkedIn profile. So I evolved into the website has been changed like a lot of times. I did the search engine stuff, didn't really generate anything, but that's okay. I'm glad I did it. That's mostly where my business comes from. Now, when I talk to my clients, when sometimes they do not have an established network, so we have to tap
Build up.
into different
Yeah.
things like your company does and all that. But for me, I was fortunate enough to have a 30-year network.
Exactly that. And
Yeah.
that's, as you say, that's something that not every founder has. So it's very lucky and very handy for you to lean on
Mhm.
that and move forward from there. And it shows as well when you do have referrals coming in, just kudos to the work you are doing. There's nothing like of a higher appraisal than a referral coming to you.
And
So,
you know what's ironic is I have this website and I'm proud of my website, but at the same time, I tell the web gal, I'm like, are we ever going to have one person just go in and say, I would like to have a chat with Mary Sadat? But it's ironic because all the people that I do get inquiries from are people like, would you like to have a service to da, 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 da? So it's like the other way around. But
yeah.
it's there's certain things that are absolutely essential for business growth and in old school versus new school. So my job is to make sure I'm up with the times, not only for my business, but
Yeah.
also to have all the resources available, thus the name associates for my clients and people that reach out because none of us are everything to everyone.
No, and as you say, even every company is different, every ICP is different. So naturally, there are going to be different forms of lead gen, different forms of marketing yourself. So as you say, just leaning into that and then just taking it from there. Have you ever utilized social media or even paid advertisements just to maybe increase your network or reach a broader audience with more consistency coming in?
Yes, I have. I'm the chief cook and bottle washer, so I'm social media. I'm the one that serves the clients. I'm the one that puts all the marketing together for Sadat and Associates. Candidly, it's a lot easier when you're doing it for someone else than yourself.
Yeah.
But yes, I do have IG, I've got Facebook, I'm on YouTube, obviously LinkedIn presence, all of the above. Obviously, I'm on Google. I haven't really worked it, but I'm on there. All of that is there. And I'm also very boutique. I'm very cautious with knowing that I can only handle a number of clients in the way that I
Yeah.
want to be there for them. I'm not going to overextend myself and kill my reputation.
Yeah, so as you say, putting your efforts where they need to be, but keeping yourself and your integrity there, making sure you're aligning with your values is so important, as we mentioned at the start,
Correct. And be
keeping
there
that
for
moving
them
forward.
because
Yeah,
sometimes they have issues that cannot wait till next week. They have questions, and
yeah,
I'm honored because obviously they trust me enough to be able to text me and say, how do I handle this
yeah,
today? It's like now.
yeah,
And if I'm constantly, I have
yeah,
to allow the time factor to be able to do them justice and integrity.
yeah. And then with all that being said as well, then what are your kind of visions or ambitions for the company moving forward, I guess? Like when you think of maybe the next 6 to 12 months, like what are those goals or the targets that you're looking forward to achieving yourself?
I want to expand. So, one of my goals, it's a great question, by the way. Wonderful question. Thank you for that. So, I always ask it, but I never asked myself that. So, I do want to expand my visibility among founder led service companies. That's one of my goals. I want to strengthen my thought leadership around profitability and operational clarity. I love thought leadership matters because I feel like I have so much to say. And then I
Yeah.
want to build strategic partnerships, sustain what I have, and also build more of that.
Yeah. So just keep on doing, as you say, building on top of what you've done already, but with that added sense of building yourself up, your personal brand, your leadership skills, and very much leaning into, as you say, everything you've learned in the past and take forward from there. Where are you probably finding the biggest challenge for yourself at the moment, Mary, in taking those next steps or even within the business?
So even those steps that you had me outline right now, and thank you for that, is the scaling impact for me is doing that while maintaining the depth and quality of
Yeah.
the advisory work with my clients. They're my number one priority. And so what happens is that kind of goes, so Dot Associates goes in the back burners in keeping with the founder mentality, right? So they have me, and then I'm supposed to have me as well. So
Yeah.
so that's really the biggest challenge, and it has been all along.
Yeah, it is, especially when you are obviously very founder led within the business. It's like putting your efforts into your clients you have already. Naturally, that's where you want to be looking after them. So making sure you are working on your own business, your own marketing, and everything that added onto it as well. It is that kind of it's that catch-22 as being a founder, unfortunately,
Yes,
in
it's
that
for
situation.
everyone. Every founder has the common denominator of the same challenges.
Yeah,
And with my clients, I try very hard to teach leadership as much as possible. I'm a boutique firm, so I have associates, people that are trusted people that I work with over the course of the years as resources, but I
yeah,
don't really have any employees. So
yeah.
my clients have employees, but I want to make sure they absolutely utilize them in the best possible manner.
Yeah, exactly that. Making the best out of the team they have and really just making sure they're aligned as well. As we said, it keeps popping up throughout, is that alignment throughout the team and the founder as well. And Mary, I have one final question to ask you. So, if you could go back in time to a younger self and you could only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward, something you know now, but that you didn't know back then, what would you say to yourself?
For Sadat and Associates, I would practice what I preach, which
Mm,
is start with financial dashboards. Okay. And make that the profitability driver. Now, so what happens is that we have an idea, and in my particular situation clients just came, so I didn't really build an infrastructure for Sadat and Associates, right? This is what I work with my clients on. Okay, let's build the infrastructure. I know that we got clients coming, I know we're going to be profitable, no worries, that guaranteed. Okay, but and I think if I was to do it all over again, I would take probably 6 months and create my financial projections. I would create my financial dashboards. I would create more of a P&L type orientation for Sadat and
yeah,
Associates. Exactly what I preach and what I've done for 30 years, but I didn't do it for myself because I was inundated with client work.
yeah.
Nice problem to have, but you asked,
Took the
what would
words
you
out of
do
my
all
mouth.
over again? I would definitely treat that financial dashboard of measurable value and growth results very objectively from the very beginning, rather than just saying yes to every client, regardless of whether they were profitable or not.
Yeah.
And it was funny, if I may just say one more thing. I have so much to tell you, Olivia. I'm so sorry. Yesterday, there was an opportunity that presented to one of my clients, and we analyzed it as to the actual value of that financially, and there was none. So we said no to that opportunity.
There you go.
And to go back to the financial dashboard, numbers don't lie.
Yep. And as you say, that's wasted effort, wasted money on that's not gaining any profit. Let's get rid of it. And Mary, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can our listeners reach out best to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do so?
Thank you. I have connected with you on LinkedIn, so.
Yeah, no, not for me, but for the listeners. Do you want to give yourself a shout out? Where's the best place?
Yes, of course. You too. Yes, please. I'm on LinkedIn, Mary Saadat, with a shorter blonde hair. And then I'm also, my website is SaadatAssociates.com. Saadat is a very hard name to spell because it's got three A's in it, but hey, it's in honor of my physician dad. So SAADAT and associates.com.
Beautiful.
But LinkedIn, I'm pretty much all over. I think people can find me, Olivia. If they can't, I got a problem.
No, you'll be nice and easy to find. We will tag you at the bottom as well. But Mary, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Olivia. Thank you so much for having me. This was delightful.
It very much was. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to go and check out Mary Saadat. As she just said, drop her a message on LinkedIn. Mary, and that's Saadat, SAADAT. Please check out the website, SaadatAssociates.com. I'm sure she would love to hear from everybody. And do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from 0 to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing and we'll see you on the next one.